Okay, I've got my yellow.
We have to break for a commercial or anything?
I've got my yellow, my red, and my blues. If I mix them in really good proportion, I get black. But if I push them towards the yellow-red side, I will get brown. So I can, if it's a gray-haired person, I've got gray. If it's a brunette, get a little more yellow in there. I've got the darker brunette, the lighter highlights in a brunette. I need a little more yellow. See, I didn't get a big enough puddle. That's how that brush gets worn out. Okay, if she's a redhead, we just push it.
Love redheads.
Someone says I do. I do.
Are you a redhead?
Out of a bottle, yeah.
And when I paint hair, I try and get the lights in first. Where's the
Right here.
painting? I painted these lights in, and you'll see me do that, and then I'll kill them off where I want the shadows and the light to go. And if you look at the thing there, in reality, I probably, with the shadow coming up here, I probably should have darkened this down a little bit more because there's a shadow in here. And some of the light hairs in there. This is just a damp brush, and I'm just working it. Leaving some lights in there. That looks a little better.
Hold it up. Another shot.
Okay, now, now there's a problem I see right away, and see that hard line? I don't like that hard line. So, too many, just kill it by the temple there, because there's a lot of little fuzzy hairs there. So, the thing I do, if you watch me do all of this, is if we have a line, that's boring. If we have another line, and it's a building, we have lost and found edges. If we take it one more step and soften out an edge or two here, wherever it begins to get a little more interesting. Maybe. So that's the technique, and I'll go and do the first wash. Now, I discovered something terrible last night. I use strictly Arches 140-pound paper, but occasionally I use Fabriano 140 and Fabriano 140 hot press. And I drew my big drawing on hot press.
Oh no!
Oh no!
And hot press is very unforgiving. It is, you know, and it doesn't tend to lift as well as Arches. So I'm not giving you a, oh no, Bob's going to screw up thing. I'm just telling you that.
You might.
The other thing I like to do is once I get my drawing down, whether you've oh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Bob, Rhoda is on her way. She's just now getting on 275.
Oh.
She left very early to be here by 9:30, and there was a terrible accident on 4 in which somebody died, and they were sat on the interstate for an hour.
Oh dear.
So
She'll be here when she gets here. She's coming
after
this
I
way.
do a drawing, I look at my graphite because there's places that I end up too much graphite shows through. And you can see on this painting here where I drew right up to the ear. By the way, I projected it. I have no bones about projecting it. Light box. They have these new digital projectors.
Oh, yeah. And when you win the lottery.
Well, you know, Nick has used digital projectors for a long time.
Well, Nick's got money.
He spent the $2,000 and got, you know, and he does big, and, you know, Leonardo used the square hair. There's the Gur's grid, you know. Norman Rockwell and Maxfield Parrish both used overhead projectors, those old things where you laid it down and shot it in. But they were draftsmen too, and so I encourage you to sketch, because you are literally sketching when you get your image on here. So what I do is I have these gummy erasers, and I look for places that I want to, I think I've already lifted some here.